Hello everyone, this is Jyoti. So let us discuss about threads in operating system. As a program under execution is a process and a thread is a basic unit of execution. So each program may have a number of process associated with it and each process can have a number of thread execution in it. So thread is a basic unit of execution, or it can be defined as a thread is a basic unit of CPU utilization, consisting of a program counter, a stack, a set of registers and a thread ID. Traditionally or heavy weighted process have a single thread of control. There is a one program counter and one sequence of instruction that can be carried out at any given time. In a process have a multiple threaded of control, it can be performed more than one task at a time. In multi-threaded application have multi-threaded within a single process, each having their own program counter, stack and set of register, but sharing common code, data and certain structure such as open files and signal. Let us look into the figure in based on single threaded process and multi-threaded process. In single-threaded process, the whole block is consist as a process. Each process consisting of one thread. There is a code section, data section, file, register and stack which belongs to this process. There is one thread, that means the process can perform only one task at a time. Let's look into the multi-threaded process where the whole block is represented as a multi-threaded process. It has a multiple thread over here. There are three thread and each of the thread have their own task, stack and the registers. A code section, data sections and files are belong to this process are shared by the three threads. In this case, the process can perform multiple tasks at a time because each threads will perform a different task and hence multiple tasks can be performed at a given time by the help of multi-threaded process. By this we can get to know that it is much more, means multi-threaded process is much more efficient than compared to a single threaded process, and it make our computations more fast and efficient. The next topic is multi-threaded server architecture. Generally, we know about how the client web server process will be done. Initially, the client send a request to the server process the request and deliver the response to the client. If we use a multi-threaded server architecture, in the first step, the client sending a request to the server. Then the server will assign the request to the thread. In the second step, the server create a new thread to serve the request. And in the third step, the server resume listing of additional client requests, which means if a server requests receive one more request, server create another thread, then it is the responsible for the thread to perform the task. After completion of the task, the response is delivered to the client from the server. If the single threaded architecture, we have only one thread, so server can assign the task to the thread and it has to be required more amount of time to perform the task because it cannot create a multiple thread. Next comes the benefits. The benefits of multi-threaded program can be broken down into four major categories. First one is responsiveness. One thread can provide rapid response while other threads are blocking or slow down doing intensive calculation. Second one is resource sharing. By default, thread share common code, data and other resource while allow multiple tasks to be performed simultaneously in a single address space. Third one, economy. Creating and managing thread is much faster than performing the same task for process. Finally, scalability, that is utilization of multiple processor architecture. A single threaded process can only run over one CPU, no matter how many may be available, whereas the execution of multi-threaded application may be split amongst available processor. Next topic is types of thread. First one is user thread, supported above the kernel and or managed without kernel support. Second one is kernel thread, supported and managed directly by the operating system. So, to these two threads to function together, there must be exist a relationship between the user thread and kernel thread. Their relation can be done by multi-threading model. So let's look into the next topic, multi-threading models, which means a type of relationship that can be there between the user threads and kernel threads. There are three common ways to establish the relationship. First one is many-to-one model. In the many-to-one model, many user level threads are all mapped onto a single kernel thread. Thread managed is handled by the thread library, its user space, which is very efficient. However, if a blocking system call is made, then the entire process block, even if the other user thread would otherwise be able to continue. Before a single kernel thread can operate only on a single CPU, the many-to-one model does not allow individual process to be split across the multiple CPU. Next comes the one-to-one model. In the one-to-one model, create a separate kernel thread to handle each user thread. One-to-one model overcomes the problem listed above involving the blocking of system calls and the splitting of processes across the multiple CPUs. However, the overhead of managing the one-to-one model is more significant, involving more overhead and solving down the system. Most implementation of this model place a limit of how many threads can be created. Next, finally, the many-to-many model. The many-to-many model multiplexes can number of user thread onto an equal or smaller number of kernel thread, combining the best features of the one-to-one and many-to-one models. User have no restrictions on the number of threads created. Blocking kernel system calls do not block the entire process. Process can be split across the multiple process. Individual process may be allotted variable number of kernel threads depending on the number of CPU present and other factors. These are all about the threads. Thank you.